Rob Liefeld goes on a 8-minute rant against Marvel not using Deadpool and not using Deadpool in the films already. Now he also goes back on some things he said. So let's get to all the dumb things he said. Starting to think we're gonna have to come up with some sort of unique, title for this series, like Rob's Wheelhouse of Dumb Ideas, or something along those lines. Yeah, that's a lot of work. So he starts ranting about Disney to IGN, and for about 8 minutes he goes into Deadpool, talking about how Deadpool 1 and 2 were two perfect movies. I mean, sure, Deadpool 1 was amazing. I'll agree with that. He then talks about the masterful video game that just had its 7-year anniversary and why they haven't done more with that. Because that was an Activision licensed game and those licenses lapsed, which is why they pulled them from digital storefronts. Yeah. But then he transitions over to his biggest rant, the movie industry. Disney paid $70 billion for Fox and they have dropped the ball because they can't put out the films in theaters. Any films. So what are they supposed to do? According to him, they're supposed to make Deadpool. They were supposed to make Deadpool right away to make them money. Again, the Fox acquisition completed just last spring. So it's been like 15 months barely. And they couldn't start until the actual, acquisition was done. And once it was done, you have to sit down and talk to everybody. You can't just jump back into what was, because there was a shift of power, moving, pieces, people moving from one division to another, consolidating, expanding. Again, they didn't get to sit down and talk to Ryan Reynolds till the beginning of this year because of so many things happening. How the hell were they going to get a Deadpool movie out? And then he calls out everybody at Disney for not using Deadpool to earn back $70 billion. Newsflash, Deadpool 2 made less than Deadpool 1. And interest in the character over the last 2 years has actually dwindled compared to the 5 years before it. That's why there's actually less things with Deadpool, like less comics and less merchandise. You can actually look these up. Well, they might be public, I'm not sure yet. When the reports come out, you guys will be able to look at them, and we'll talk about them in depth. But, yeah, Deadpool's popularity, not as high as it was a couple years ago. Again, oh man, Rob Liefeld, man, I tell you. Again, most of his recent rants have been, and you guys understand this, if you're watching this channel, you understand this. He's coming at it from a place where they're not inviting him back to work in the fold with Deadpool because of clearly his ego, right? Clearly everything he's doing, because he literally thinks that everything responsible for Deadpool was him, where everybody knows it wasn't. Literally everybody knows that. The reason Deadpool has been popular and exploded into popularity in the mid-2000s, it wasn't him. That's like when Sony was trying to take credit for Far From Home being their biggest film. Like, guys, that's a Marvel Studios film. You just flipped the bill, literally. Like, come on. So we'll be back next time, undoubtedly, with more of Rob's stupid soapbox of stupidity. That might be a good working title.